Hi and welcome to Spiritual Link, the podcast, a podcast about how developing spiritual well-being can help you in your daily life and how that can enhance your confidence in who you are and what you are. The podcast is hosted by Ines and Tor. Ines is a development medium with over 30 years of experience in the field, and Tor has been an apprentice since 2013. In this episode, we talk about chakras, morning routines, crystals, and spiritual guides. You can support us by sharing the episode on your social media channels, subscribing to our podcast, and leaving a review. Remember, you can always find us on @SpiritualLinkCo on Instagram. Hi Ines, it's another Friday.
Another Friday indeed, yes, and another little mini lockdown.
Yes, I have been reading the news and watching this and thinking to myself that I need to buy myself a rowing machine because, if we're going
I
into
thought you
another
were going to
mini
say loo
lockdown.
paper.
Well, that too, obviously loo paper, but hopefully that frenzy won't happen again, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? But it seems like it's going to be another mini lockdown. And well, hopefully by listening to this podcast, we can ease some of people's uncertainty and
Oh, we will.
anxiety and worry and stress, because that's, I suppose, part of our purpose with this podcast, right?
Yes,
Is to be a bit of like an upliftment in a time
absolutely.
which seems
Yeah,
very dreadful.
yeah, absolutely. To lift the spirit. Yeah,
Mm,
so we can all hang in there.
yeah, and ride that wave in the best possible
Yes.
way.
And of course, maybe those of you that are listening are riding the wave after having gone on our chakra journey, all of the colors, all of the openings. And if you practiced within the last week, of course, you will feel more powerful, will you not? You will feel more joyful, will you not? Intuitive, and so on, will you not? Are you not? But with saying that, of course, I'm teasing you all a little bit. But with the chakrams in balance, by feeding them your own energy, by making some sort of an inroad into balancing our thought processes at this time, of course, nothing ever guarantees that our physical problems and the tricky people in our life will not be around. I mean, that is silly. However, what we are able to do with the chakrams, of course, is that because our mind is calm, we can accept and look at our physical problems in a slightly different way and come to a solution. The tricky people, okay, that's their life. It's not your life. Just let it go. Let the difficult situations in your life just go. Let them go overnight if you like, and allow something else to replace it. So with the confidence, let us say, of handling the obstacle course that once more we have been presented with, we can move forward. I believe last week I said that what is coming is better than what is gone. And it will be better. It will be better. So, of course, with the chakrams, as I was just saying, chakrams and the opening of the chakrams, of course, I would imagine possibly you were also able to connect and link, as we asked you to do, in your own way, the presence that is always around you. Feeling of that presence also gives us confidence that we are not alone, totally looked after. So I'm hoping very much that you were able to connect with that other being, with that presence, very much in your own way. Going back to the chakrams and what I just said, of course, we cannot make difficulties, problems go away. But what Thor and I are able to do is to direct you and help you to clear your mind, not clutter the mind, clear your mind so that you're able to think things through. By thinking things through and coming to your own conclusion, of course, we also have the obstacle course of karma, the law of karma. So if one thing fails, we have to try and try again, do we not? It's just one of these situations. So with the basis of the art of visual meditations, which is what we did last week, we are gradually teaching our thinking mind to discard the constant flow of thoughts that are in our mind, and thereby leaving, if we call it the spiritual self, intuitive self, open. So in time also, we will give you different forms of exercises to bring forward the strength and confidence in yourself. At the moment, the best exercise, even if you're an old hand at chakrams, opening and closing and meditation, it can only ever get better. We're never past the point of learning. So every day, opening, bringing forward the strength and power into yourself will help also to strengthen your mind and to reduce the modern stresses and illnesses that are caused by the anxiety that is all around us at the moment. Again, we never mentioned the length of commitment for meditation. Perhaps 10, 15 minutes, see what happens, see what suits your lifestyle the best. However, if possible, practice on a very much on a daily basis as well. I know you, Thor, you practice, I think, twice a day religiously, don't you? Your life is set up that you meditate, you do your exercises, you also go to work, and then in the evening you also meditate, don't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, usually in the morning, my morning routine is like wake up, have a shower, stretch, and then I meditate, have my breakfast, and then I get to work.
So how long a time frame are you talking about?
So it probably normally takes me, well, I'm quite lucky in the sense, at least during coronavirus, that I can work from home.
Yes.
So you normally from waking up till I start working, it's about an hour. So
Okay.
I managed to, yeah, do my shower, do my stretch, do my meditation, and eat my breakfast within an hour.
So how long do you take the stretching?
That's probably about 10 minutes, something like
No.
that. 10 minutes,
Okay.
yeah. Because I
And
try to like be the most possible awake before I do my meditation, right? Which is why I have the shower and then I do the stretching just to
mhm.
make sure I'm like awake going into my
Yes.
meditation.
And how long does the meditation usually last?
I would say like 20 minutes, probably.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then you come out of the meditation on your own accord.
Yeah, on my own accord, yeah.
Okay. And then you have a breakfast of what?
So I normally eat like overnight oats for breakfast, like some overnight oats and some fruit is what I normally have for
Oh,
breakfast.
okay. Fruit in season, that type of thing. Whatever you
Well,
can.
well, because I struggle with IBS, I can't eat that much fruit. So I usually have like some oranges and some kiwis for breakfast.
Okay, that sounds nice. Yes,
Mm,
excellent. Okay.
mm.
And so you finish your breakfast. That is maybe 3/4 of an hour gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And then work, of course, as you said, you're now able to do a lot of it online. But before then, you have a bicycle and you rode that to work.
Yeah, and so normally that routine was slightly different. So normally I would wait to eat my breakfast until I came to work. So I
Yes,
usually had breakfast by my desk at work. I think I've been blessed slightly by the fact that I'm a morning person. So I think
yes.
I'm quite lucky in that sense. I mean, I get up at like 6:30 and I'm sort of awake.
I was just going to ask what time your day started. Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
at the moment, I usually get up between 6 and 6:30, and then I'm at my desk by 7:30, basically.
Okay. And then you finish work, even if it's online. You finish roughly what time?
So well, it depends on the day, really. So I work like condensed hours. So
Hmm.
in that sense, I'm quite lucky again because I work like a long day on Mondays, and then I
Hmm.
work shorter days on the other days. So that I can hit the gym and do all my other stuff. But I mean, I suppose what I've done though with my life is that I have designed it to cultivate well-being. I've through like years of experimentation, I have figured out what gives me well-being and what
Yes.
doesn't, and then for the most part, I've discarded activities or ways of being which doesn't serve my well-being, right? I know that I need to get at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep every day. That just
Yes.
means I can't stay up till midnight watching Netflix. I have to be
Yes.
in bed by 9:30.
Yes. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Yes, excellent. That's good. So when do you go to the gym? Which days? Obviously not on a Monday, because that's your long day,
Yes, I
theoretically.
normally go for a run at lunch on Mondays because really that's quite easy. I don't need to do any warm up, nothing. I just get out of the house, like put some shoes on and go for like a 45-minute run. And then on Tuesdays, I work out for like an hour and a half, and I do that around like 3 or 4. So basically, what I usually do is I actually slightly divide up my day. So I'm always at my desk 5 days a week at like 7:30, but I usually go on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Fridays. I break up my day slightly. So I go to the gym at like 3:30, and I'm there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I do some more work again in the evening because I know during those hours anyway, like my creativity is useless.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing happens really. So why not go to the gym instead of, and then do
Yes.
some more work when I get back.
Yes. That's good. I think what I found very interesting, you have found out the wellness for yourself
Mm,
and what you should and shouldn't do, especially when we're coming to a night's sleep.
yeah.
If a person is able to regulate it, I know some individuals have to work all hours of the day or their extended hours, but we all know how much sleep we do need,
Yeah.
and that at some point that you can't burn the candle at both ends forever and ever.
No, you can't.
You
And I
might
mean,
have two
there's
or three days that are rough, but then you have to catch up.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just so much research which tells us how much sleep we get or how much
Yeah.
sleep we need to have, and if
Yes.
you don't, how many illnesses that can lead to, and so on and so forth. So,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, sleep for me is like alpha omega. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm not this smiley, shiny person that I am otherwise. If I get anything less than 7, I'm just like, life is coming to an end. So,
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. When you're meditating, Thor, I see on your shelf and all these amazing selection of crystals. And I know you're linked in with each and every one. And also, I see that crystal ball of yours, which is really something else. Um, do you hold a crystal at all when you're meditating? Or do you just link your mind to all that is around you?
good question. So it really depends on the day. So I have like I have like a male and a female who I would say are like my
They're
main
good ones,
buddies,
yes.
right
That's
here.
right.
So
I
I do,
see a smoky quartz, which is really powerful,
yeah,
and I see a flat, like a diamond, sort of a quartz.
yeah, like a female. So
Yeah, female quartz, beautiful.
yes, on some days I have these in my hands. On other days I also have this lovely, quite big one.
Yes, that's great. So
I've
where do
got
you put
this.
that?
Hmm?
Where do you put that?
So I sometimes hold it during my meditation. Just depends on the day, really. I normally switch between like either having this one, which is like the bisexual crystal, or I
Yes.
have these two in my hands. Or on some days I just have nothing and I just connect with everything that is around me. Just depends on what my intuition is telling me on that day.
Yes. So what do you do? Do you sit or do you lie down for your meditation?
So I sit. I found that to be the most, especially like in the morning, if I'm already a tiny bit sleepy and then you lie down,
Yeah.
that is going to put me back into sleep.
Yeah. Good.
So I've just become very accustomed with sitting.
Yes, sitting is very, very good. That's
Mm.
excellent. That's interesting. And after your meditation, obviously you feel invigorated, or do you feel I'm ready for the day? Because you also have a lot of challenges at work.
So it's interesting that. So I would always say I feel better.
Yes.
Even sometimes. I mean, especially I would say that my meditations in the morning are much calmer than the meditations in the evening. Sometimes, if I had a really long day and it's been particularly challenging, I do sometimes find that decluttering my mind during the meditation is really difficult. And
Yeah.
sometimes I come out of it thinking, did that do anything?
Yeah.
But then I'm always left with a feeling of, yes, I am feeling calmer. And I think having just that tiny feeling of calmness is like invaluable, even though it's just like 0.5% more calm from doing that meditation. That
Yeah.
is invaluable. I mean, on other days, you know, I'm completely able to declutter my mind and it feels like I'm on like seventh heaven and I'm like floating in the universe.
Yeah.
But even just that, like, I think it's an invaluable instrument to be able to calm yourself down by your own fruition,
Yes.
you know, and
Very.
that's it, and that's priceless.
Mhm.
You know,
Well said.
there's no external substance, there's nothing. It's
That's
just
right.
me deciding, making a choice. I'm going to do this for myself and my well-being, and I can do
Yes.
that for free.
Absolute anywhere in a crowded room or some. I know we're not supposed to be in crowded rooms, but we do not know that you and your mind can actually separate yourself from what is going on around you and find that strength and peace within to
Mm,
make the right decision
yeah, and find
for
that
your own
calm.
well-being. That's wonderful. That's very
Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah.
yeah. It
So
just
when
takes
you are,
practice.
when you've have exactly practice, but when you've had a long day and you're finding it difficult to declutter, what do you do? Do you go back to the dusty road? Do you go back to the chakrams, or what do you concentrate on at sometimes?
So I try and just connect with my guide. Well, I
Yes.
always, you know, I always go on my journey, obviously,
Yes.
that you've so gracefully taught me over these years. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Um, I always just go back to my guide. I always just bring my mind back to my main guide. That's what I do when I sort of enter into that meditative space. I always just try and I always try and just sort of focus on that feeling of being connected to my guide and using that.
Excellent.
That's what I do.
Excellent, excellent. Of course, a guide, as you readily see as well, is from another period of time, a past
Mm,
life.
mm.
And which is your main guide again?
So
Will you
my main
describe
guide,
him?
my main guide is the Roman general
Yes.
Augustine. That's my main guide. That's who it
Wonderful.
is. Yeah, and it's you know it's incredible to be able to connect with, I suppose, his journey, his life, and see the experiences that he's been through, and then see how I can learn from that. And just, I mean, sometimes when I connect with him, and I think this is something I'm still learning from him, which is just that 100% confidence in his decision making, right? That sort of strategic 100% confidence in knowing that
Yes.
what he's doing was right. You know, he must have directed armies or commanded
Oh,
armies,
tens
right?
of thousands, absolutely. But also the tenacity to go on at all cost.
Mm,
Everyone has failures as well, but
mm,
to be able to lead men into battle because they are following you,
mm,
I think is incredible.
mm. So,
That's very interesting. That's absolutely very correct with any form of guidance that we have. Um, we should not become Roman generals again, but what we do take from them, because you were also in that life.
mm,
So the tenacity and the endurance that you and the hardships that were suffered on the road, not just the bronze statue that's now up for him, uh, that is what we can draw from again for this life. We still
mm.
need courage. We still need courage to face tomorrow.
Yeah,
Still need courage to follow our own path, to make up our own mind and decisions. So very good, very very
yeah.
interesting.
So this is just reminding me of one meditation that I saw, and I mean, I think this was more figurative. Well, maybe it actually did happen. And there was like a meditation where I could see him like falling down and then standing back up, and it was like he's being pushed down and then standing back up again, and just having that resilience or that determination to always stand back up again, whatever sort of challenge you're faced with, to always to have that perseverance.
I think he was knocked on the head by an axe or something.
Yeah,
So he
probably.
was lucky he stood up.
He
But
was.
still, you must have the thing, the ringing in that helmet, boing, 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 but he got up. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he'd be dead meat or something. Yes, but those let's put that under the heading of tricky people. You know,
Yeah.
if we're knocked down, we have no choice but to get up.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah,
There's nothing else. And I mean, and I think that's so true. What you open today up with is that there will always be tricky people and there will always be challenges, but we have to be steadfast in our path.
That's right. Absolutely. And to believe in ourselves, to have
Mm,
enough confidence. We make mistakes. We never actually know.
mm,
Sometimes mistakes are heralded under the heading because you didn't make enough money. That's not always a mistake. It's also very much a learning process. And if
yes.
we're able to learn from what we feel has gone wrong or not quite right, there's no reason why not we cannot succeed. I believe somebody once said that the billionaires no longer enough to be a millionaire, but all billionaires have been bankrupt at least 3 or 4 times.
Mm,
They try and try, goes wrong, but they pick themselves up again. They've learned a lesson, and so they move forward because they want to succeed.
And I suppose sometimes what we again dub underneath mistakes is a part of our life, right? The mistakes are
Absolutely, yeah.
it's a part of it's the path of our life, our karma to experience those mistakes or failures.
Oh, absolutely, it is. That's right. Um, but also with our meditation, we're talking about your amazing main guide as well. We're also talking about the qualities of integrity, honesty, and humility that we can build upon to act as a buffer against stress, which then leads the mind uh, to help and maintain the well-being of the body. Um, and that the well-being of the body is then what eliminates or alleviates some of the modern illnesses that are caused by stress.
Mm,
It is then the open sesame for anything that might be wrong. But integrity, honesty, and humility are very, very important. And the main guides, usually what we have, women or men, it doesn't make any difference, or children, whatever it is, those qualities are usually part of the makeup of being a guiding force, of being selected as a guiding force. In that period of time you're talking about, Thor, you must have come across other very noble individuals as well. And then the noblest of them that can help you in this life is usually what is chosen for our destiny at this particular time. I think that's really, 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 really interesting. I like that very much. Um,
what about you, Ines? How does your morning look like in
well,
terms of meditation?
okay, on a very general level, I also meditate for about half an hour. I used to do what you're doing. I need something to distract my mind at the moment. I get up, say, at 5 o'clock. I also shower, get dressed, and then I play the piano for half an hour, which requires obviously concentration. What we're talking about is the art of concentrating, and that leads me open and able to connect with the guiding forces as well. I have a number of individuals that I try to link in with. So I do that for half an hour. Then I might have a bowl of cereal or something. And again, I'm ready to go to work, say 6:30. And in the evening, as you do as well, I unwind. I meditate again, and I always thank the guides, the universe, whatever, that that I had a good day, that I have work, that I am healthy, and so on and so forth. I never omit the gratitude of what I'm able to achieve at the moment, or the food, the roof that I have over my head. I appreciate it very, very much, very much.
So, thinking about, because obviously what we're talking about in some ways is the ways in which that, let's call it being spiritual impacts our life, or how that
Yes.
influences our life. What are your thoughts on that? Like, what is having a spiritual life?
It is peace. It gives me a sense of peace. I don't feel as if I'm competing anymore. I'm very much a motivated individual. That means I would very much like to have what somebody else has if it's bigger and better. However, through working with spirit already for over 30 years now, I have come to terms at peace with my life, which is certainly not bad at all. But that is what it gives me: peace and strength And I know, I can feel that I'm not alone. It is just an internal feeling. And I'm very much hoping that it's not Alice in Wonderland or the king's clothes, whereby everybody yells what wonderful clothes he has. And then I'm the one that chirps along. It brings me peace of mind. And also, the hope is not, I hope, not necessarily unrealistic. I'm far more realistic. But getting back to the bits, the beginning of the day, I think I've asked you to do this. I'm not digressing, but we went through all of the colors.
Mm-hmm.
We're meant to drink what, 1 liter a day, correct, of water?
Yeah, I have 2 because I exercise so much.
Absolutely. But underneath that, instead of putting it on a brown desk or a beige desktop or anything like that, have paper, a colored paper on brilliant orange, is it?
This today was orange, yeah.
Yes, orange, good. So have a colored paper underneath it, underneath your jug or your bottle, and then allow it to imbibe. It takes about 3 hours. If it's already in a bottle, I have it in a jug. I put it into a bottle, and that'll keep for 8 hours. But I always drink that same amount of water, and that is what the guiding forces have told me for my well-being. And at the moment, it's yellow. Then I also put it to red if I'm low on energy, and so on. I swap it around as I feel it is necessary, and that really, really helps. It helps the molecular structure of your body. It helps the blood cells to cleanse themselves, to detox. It's a detoxing. That means you can go to the toilet better. You can release the chemicals through perspiration or whatever better. It helps your hair, your eyesight. Important, your thinking. The thinking mind is cleansed, ready to it. So the meditation, the linking, the colors, of course it includes the chakras, just opens the way to a healthier, more balanced human being. And from that balanced human being, we can get over the hurdles of life. We can face the dilemmas, the insecurities, what we now have, the fears that we have. We have to face them. It's not going to go away. It will do, but at the moment, it's a reality. What's going to happen to our jobs in 1 month's time, 2 months' time? What's going to happen? We have to fight it. And we have been given the tools to fight it as well. And the basis is what Thor and I do, and many, many others, is this visualization, this meditation. We visualize the body. We can correct the body. So no, it's the colors as well. Good for you, Thor. I have mine here too. This is just from where I have my jug.
Yeah, I mean, I do that religiously every day, and depends on. I often switch I often switch a lot between like orange and green is what I
Yes,
usually
good. That's good.
switch between basically, because I think on some days I just need a bit more balance, and on other days I need a bit more oomph.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yes. But the orange, of course, is in the lower regions. It's about the stomach, not
Yeah.
quite the reproductive organs. So I believe you once mentioned to us you had difficulties down there,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's the orange band.
That is the orange band, my stomach chakra.
Yeah, so that when it needs a little bit of upliftment, of course, it's very close to orange and yellow, isn't it? Very, very close to one another. The
Yeah.
orange has a bit more red,
It
which
has
gives it that, yeah,
bit of
that
like
little
a
bit
bit
of
of
lift.
extra, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
which is exactly what it
Okay.
needs. So, do we have a positive message for the week to leave people with,
Oh,
Ines?
always, always so much positive. Two little positive things. Again, we deliberately repeat ourselves because sometimes we forget it. But this is number one. Life is what we have at this time and what we are able to do at this time. What we will do in years to come or the next moment in time is quite unimportant now at this moment. So what we can do right now is to focus on the moment, to enjoy, if possible, this moment and also any opportunities that lie ahead. That is what we should be focusing on, the now. and the strength to let go of fear and uncertainty. We each have that strength. All humanity has strength to let go of fear and uncertainty. Fear and uncertainty only weaken us, weaken our mind, weakens our resolve. We cannot do anything if we are afraid of something, afraid of tomorrow. The uncertainties, they'll always be there. But have the strength to let go of your fear and of your uncertainties. Something else will always come into place. Always, 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 always. And I think you found that too, Thor, haven't you? With your strength that you build through meditation, through your exercising, through your wellness. I know I hang on to it.
Yeah, no, me too. I mean, I think that inner strength is invaluable. And I mean, again, for those of you who've listened, knows that the first door to spirituality was opened by my grandmother when I was like 6 and 7. And I mean,
Yeah,
I was
beautiful.
going through a very difficult time as a child, and I definitely think that by her doing that all the way back then just gave my mind a resilience and just a hopefulness that the future will be better.
And to appreciate and have the confidence and enjoy who you are.
Yeah.
Your own individuality, your own personality is good.
Mm. Mm.
Good. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Thor. So I think, don't you agree? All of our listeners, all of you, meditate, open those chakrams, close those chakrams again, but leave the base open just a little bit. Open it a teeny weeny bit, close it a little teeny weeny bit.
Yeah. Do that
Drink
every
water.
day and your life
Yes,
will change.
it will. It will. Thank you, Thor. So good to see you.
So good to see you as well. See you
Thank
again
you.
next Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Spiritualing the podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or wants us to explore a topic, please reach out on our Instagram account at Spiritualing Co.